Hello everyone, welcome to part 7, the first item reading episode. From after this episode, at least if I remember, I'll be reading item descriptions as soon as I get them, rather than making an entire episode. Because I don't think an entire episode of reading item descriptions is going to be very fun. But I might as well do them, and it'd be kind of hard to spread them out in each episode like I would as if I just picked them up, without getting too far behind, and I don't want to just not read them, so we're going to be going through most of these, and if I don't get through all of them, I'll just come back later and read the rest of them, or come back the next episode and read more of them. So let's get started with the Estus flask. A green glass bottle of unknown make. Fill it with Estus at a bonfire, and drink from it to restore HP. The nature of the link between the Estus flasks and the bonfires that illuminate the world of the undead is entirely unknown, but that is of little concern for any undead who knows the value of these precious flasks. Obviously, these are very, very important. They're in every Souls game, excluding Demon Souls. They're in every Dark Souls game. Next, we have the Human Effigy. A warm, soft, shadow-like effigy. Use this item to reverse hollowing. It also prevents the links to other worlds, preventing invasions and most cooperation, which the way you do that is through burning them in the bonfires. Peer closely at an effigy, and one begins to perceive a human form, but whose form it takes depends on the person looking. Interesting. To my knowledge, they're only in this game in the series. Next, we have Life Gems. Small stone made up of crystallized souls. Gradually restores a small amount of HP. Often found near abandoned corpses, as if it were what remains of the soul. These are the main healing items in this game, other than the Estus flasks. Now we have the Radiant Light Gem. Stone made up of crystallized souls. Gradually restores HP. The dull glimmer of these mysterious stones brightens with the passage of time. Ugh. How do people read for as long as they do? My throat's probably gonna hurt for the rest of the day. Like a second thick or something. Stuff's pretty interesting though. Dark Souls lore is very interesting. I like how it's like one of the few games out there that reads through, or that you get the story and lore pretty much exclusively through items. Kind of like the Doom series, or at least the more recent Dooms. Now we have the Old Radiant Life Gem. Stone made up of crystallized souls. Gradually restores a large amount of HP. A rare stone with so brilliant a shine would fetch a handsome price, but what value could it really have without knowing who died to leave it behind? Interesting. Not much of a distinction between them. I guess the only reason there are different types of life gems is the amount of souls or the power of the souls. Kind of like how boss souls are stronger or more valuable than normal souls, or like hero souls are better than like shitty soldier souls. Next we have the Amber Herb, an annual herb with an amber color so deep it gives the impression of luminescence. Restores a small number of spell uses. It is the mistaken belief of many that the flowers of this herb do not blossom. However, small white flowers do blossom during dusk when the moon is visible. It's kind of interesting. Check to make sure I'm actually recording. I am. It's fun. Making YouTube videos is fun, even if it's just this. Get to play a fun game, and get to learn about lore about the game too. Next we have the Poison Moss. A faintly poisonous clump of moss. When ingested, it counteracts poison and cleanses one's insides. If enough poison builds up in the body to break out and cause poisoning, your HP will start to decrease. If you wish to stay alive, you would do well to keep a supply close to hand. It's kind of odd that it says that this moss is poisonous. How would poisonous moss cure poison? That doesn't make much sense, does it? I mean, it's not like a vaccine or anything. That doesn't really make much sense, but next we have Divine Blessing. Holy water endowed with the Divine Blessing. Cures status effects and fully restores HP. Water blessed by an ancient goddess. Her name is long forgotten, and the Magic Academy of Melphia denies even her existence. In any age, there are those who refuse to see reason. It is their meddling that distorts the truth. It's basically the Dark Souls version of full restores from Pokemon. Next, we have Green Blossoms. Green weed shaped like a leafy flower temporarily boosts stamina recovery speed. At one point, this herb was avoided due to its unusually bitter taste. Once its effects became known, it was harvested to near extinction by merchants. Now only exceptionally rare, wild specimens of this plant are left. It's just straight up weed. Now we have Homeward Bones. A white ashen bone. Return to last bonfire rested at. Bonfires burn on the bones of undead. And this bone, belonging to one whose journey was cut short, has the power to travel to bonfires, as if it yearns to resume its futile quest. I might have to take a break between these because my voice is starting to waver a bit. Next, we have the Dark Sign. An accursed mark, the Dark Sign induces death, returning the player to the last bonfire rested at the cost of all souls held. Do what you must to gather the pieces, scraping them into some semblance of a whole, before the will to do so fades. And half these are super fucking depressing. The only ones I'll miss are like random soul items that I've already used, but I'll probably run them more throughout the game, most likely. Now we have the Black Firebomb. Disgay urn filled with black powder explodes, inflicting great fire damage. Utilizes a powerful explosive developed in the fallen kingdom of Orosa. Black firebombs can cause harm to their owners when misused, and Orosa law defines stringent standards for their safe storage. I don't think you can hurt yourself with black firebombs in this game. I know you can't with firebombs, but I'm pretty sure you can't with black firebombs either. Now we have the Witching Urn. A small clay urn enwreathed in magic. Explodes, inflicting magic damage. Created in Melphia, a land that flourishes with magic and pyromancy. Though the magic contained in the urn lacks potency, it is a boon to any inexperienced traveler. Now we have the Throwing Knife. Throwing Knife uses a projectile. This simple weapon is easily utilized. Its range is limited and it deals very little damage, but even still, it is a valuable tool in the absence of other ranged weapons. This game, the throwing knives do actually a surprisingly high amount of damage, especially in comparison to Dark Souls 3, which they do basically none. Although I guess it's because they're a lot faster in DS3. Ugh. Next we have Common Fruit. A spotted fruit. Temporarily boosts poison resistance. This common fruit has no taste, but when facing a true test of metal, its benefits could make the difference between life and death. That definitely doesn't look like a normal fruit. It looks like some sort of xenomatter egg. It looks like an alien egg, basically. Now we have the Aromatic Ooze. Aromatic Ooze, that's what it is. A mysterious sticky substance that radiates a pale white light. Pale blood. Applies magic to right hand weapon. The affected weapon inflicts magic damage for a short time. Particularly effective against heavily armored foes or creatures with thick scales. I'm pretty sure the Aromatic Ooze is the worst bundle in the game. Or buff in the game. Pretty sure it's like 40%, while the rest are like 75% or something. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's different in each game. I don't remember if it's this game or the next one. Whatever. Gold Pine Resin. A rare pine resin with a golden glint. Applies lightning to a right-hand weapon. This affected weapon inflicts lightning damage for a short time. Particularly effective against foes who are resistant to magic and fire. Now we have Repair Powder. Enchanted metal rendered into powder. Repairs equipment. Weapons and armor wear down with use. Allow too much wear and you won't be able to use them. You only have yourself to blame if you find yourself in crisis with no powder to spare. You don't use these too often, because the bonfires heal them. I'd imagine you use them primarily in later game areas, where, especially in this game where things break relatively quickly, where you'll probably have to go through multiple weapons without these. Rusted coin. An old rusted coin. Crushing the coin temporarily boosts luck. This rusted coin gives you that little extra bit of luck, making items and the like easier to find. The coin is engraved with the image of a god that was worshipped in ancient times, but no one knows its true origins. Lloyd's Talisman. Talisman used by cleric knights. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. It is said that cleric knights use these talisman to hunt down accursed undead. Cleric knights fight with pride, and by blocking the recovery of the undead, they can also fight with impunity. Hopefully no enemies throw these around. They'd be kind of annoying. Although I bet there is a few in the game that do that. First fossil. Soul of the last giant. Soul of the surviving giant, who is bound below the forest of the giants. Lord of the giants, who had brought wreck and ruin. I'm guessing it's supposed to be wreck and ruin. To the entire kingdom, was said to have been felled by an unknown warrior. His beaten and broken remains were then dragged beneath the stronghold where he was sealed away. Use the special soul of the last giant to acquire numerous souls, or to create something of great worth. If you don't want a spoiler, then I suggest you skip probably 30 or so seconds into the video. Although I have no idea, and I probably won't put I don't think there are annotations anymore. I might put them in the description. Maybe. Probably not. But the unknown warrior who defeated it was actually you, which you will be able to travel through one of the giant trees in order to defeat the last giant in its prime. He's still a complete pushover, but it's cool. It's very cool. Soul of the Pursuer. Soul of the Pursuer, who lurks in Dringlaic. The Pursuer, who seeks the bearer of the sign, will not rest until his target is slain. Use the special soul of the Pursuer to acquire numerous souls, or to create something of great worth. It's kind of weird that the only time you get the Pursuer soul, as far as I know, is through the first time you kill the Pursuer, not his like 20 different encounters. Especially in the Lone Steel, which you fight him like fucking 8 times. I don't know why. Whatever. White Sign Soapstone. Online play item. Leave summon sign. You summon as a phantom to another world in order to help that world's master for a certain time. You will be rewarded with a token of fidelity for successfully assisting the other player. The flow of time is distorted in these lands, and the White Sign Soapstone allows undead to assist one another. I might do this once or twice, especially to join one of the covenants. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess it depends on whether or not I get, like, cause I could get hacked, and I probably should not mod for that. I'll at least back up my save. Excuse me. Online play item, leave summon sign. Be summoned as a shade to another world in order to help that world's master for a certain time. You will be rewarded for successfully assisting the other player. The effort is not as long-lived as that of this White Sign Soapstone. It is used only in particular areas. Yeah, so that's just a shitty version of the normal soapstone. I don't know why it's even in the game. I guess it's so they could make more powerful summons without breaking the game by making it so they only can be in the game for a certain amount of time. It's not very good, but it's basically what that shield dude when we fought the last giant was, and that spellcaster when we fought the invader and the turtle knights in the last episode was. They don't last as long as normal phantoms. Cracked Red Eye Orb. Online play item. Invade other worlds. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire a token of spite. The residual sins of those who have succumbed to dark temptations are contained in the form of the Cracked Red Eye Orb. I forget where you get the full soapstone, or the full Red Eye Orb, because the cracked ones are singular use items. The full Red Eye Orb is infinite use. Black Separation Crystal, a symbol of farewells that has been passed down since time immemorial. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes or sends you back to yours. Whether ending in hope or despair, encounters are valuable experiences. Beware fickle use of this item. Bone of Order, online play item. You will be punished for fleeing from other worlds by disconnecting unjustly. However, this charm will disperse the ire directed at you. But sins are not easily buried, and there is no telling if you will be let off so easily next time. Each encounter in life is a precious turn of fate, and fate will not be cheated. I have no idea what this does. I'll probably look it up on Google. Seed of a Tree of Giants. A lump of something obtainable from a giant tree. Makes enemies react to invaders. When the giants fell, they grew into great trees. Death is not the end, for anything that has ever once lived remains a part of the great cycle of regeneration. But what of those outside of the cycle? As you can see from the description, what this does is it makes enemies in your world attack invaders. In Dark Souls 3, I'm pretty sure it made them attack only invaders, but it seems in this game that's not what it does. No idea. I haven't used it before. Pharaoh's Lockstone, or Pharaoh's Lockstone. Stone activating a creation of Pharaoh the Vagabond. Pharaoh the Vagabond was a legend who wandered the lands, creating contraptions to help those in sincere and dire need. The scope of his travels was so wide that Pharaoh has been mistakenly credited with many inventions that were crafted by others. Interesting. Fragrant Branch of Yore. A fragrant tree branch with a faint, sweet smell. Restores the life of things turned to stone. Extended inhalation of the branch's scent can lead to coughing and nausea. And finally for this episode, Soul Vessel. A vessel that will accept your souls. It can allow reallocation of levels, but without proper assistance, it may simply drain you of souls. If you truly wish to start again, go to the place where your journey began, which is the old age's home, where you create your class, or you create your character. That's all I will be doing for this episode, as my throat hurts, and it's already been 17 minutes. So, I hope you enjoyed. See you another time, and be safe.